Oh. Oh. Howdy, what's up? Hello, my name is Victoria. If you're new here, and if you're not new here, welcome back. I'm so happy to see you. I am a singer-songwriter who wants to learn and open up more conversations about music, and today, in the spirit of Halloween, we are opening the conversation about iconic Halloween music. We are going to be making a tier list ranking some of the best bops and flops that are in Halloween music, what I categorize as Halloween music. And before we even get into this, let me just say, this is my personal opinion. All of these songs are iconic Halloween songs. Every single one of these songs, every single one of these albums that I'm going to bring up, it's all good. I'm just ranking them based on vibes. Not every Halloween song vibes the same way, all right? So that's all I'm saying. So let's get ranking, tanking, and spanking, honey. So what I've done is I've gone on tiermaker.com and I've made me a little tier list for iconic Halloween music, all right? And let's just go through the tiers. Okay, up first you have blood-curdling bops. That's at the top list. These are the top tier songs. These are the things that just never get old. Every single time they come on, you're like, it's Halloween. It's a blood-curdling bop. It just gets you going. It does something. You have a physical reaction to hearing the song, all right? That's what a blood-curdling bop is in terms of Halloween music. Underneath that is a haunting serve. Music that is definitely in the Halloween vibe that just leaves a mark. It might not necessarily be like the bop of all bops of Halloween, but it will leave a mark and you will remember it and it will come back every year. A haunting serve has the spirit of Halloween, a spirit that's there. It's always coming back. It's always like around the corner. Like you're like, oh, I remember that song. Hey girl, like, you know. In the mid-range tier, we have She's a Good Ghoul. So this is what it looks like. It's the middle range tier. Like, she's a good ghoul. She's going to be there. She's a ride or die. She's the one that gets you home from the club at the end of the night. This is the music that, you know what, it might not be the best, but it's certainly not the worst. And I will listen to it every time and I will have a good time. She's a good ghoul. Like, she is that bitch. Going towards the lower levels, you have Candy Corny. This is where I want to emphasize that I still very much think all of these songs are iconic bops. They're all on the iconic Halloween music playlist, like obviously. However, Candy Corny, okay, let me explain. Similar to the candy, you either love it or you hate it. But either way, if it's the only thing available, you will have some. And if you mix this with other music, then it kind of like lightens the corniness of it. So that's what the Candy Corny tier is. Last but not least, still, as I said, all of these are iconic, but these are the ones that are like, for me, not the best. And those are called Frankenflops. I just needed a little more substance, a little more scary, a little more twinkly dinkly something. Like I needed something else, but it's still Halloween and I still will listen to it nonetheless. So the way that I've laid this out is that I have picked a bunch of music from different genres of Halloween music. We have Halloween movie musicals, Halloween pop music, and Halloween theme songs. So out of those three categories, I have 20 pieces of music that I will be ranking to see who comes out as a blood-curdling bop and who leaves the Halloween party as a Frankenflop. Let's get into it. Should I go in the order that they were uploaded in, or should I go in the order of my list? I don't know. Okay, you know what? I'll go in order that they were uploaded in because it randomizes it. So first up in the queue, is I Want Candy. Iconic. Okay, I've made my decision. I Want Candy is going to go in She's a Good Ghoul. And let me tell you why. Because this song has the perfect intro to a Halloween teen movie. Like, not a scary one, but like a pop, like, woohoo, Halloween party, like, for me personally, it's not a blood-curdling bop, but it's definitely not a flop either. So I think this is a good way to start off as putting it in She's a Good Ghoul, because she is a good ghoul. Is she the ghouliest ghoul? No, but is she a good one? Yes, and I stand by that. So, number one, I Want Candy goes in She's a Good Ghoul. Okay, so up next we have Rocky Horror Picture Show. Don't even have to think about this. This is blood-curdling bop. This is a blood-curdling bop. I literally don't even have to think about that. That is a blood-curdling bop. The entire movie, top to bottom, deserves, was, and always will be a blood-curdling bop. There was no anticipation for me to make the decision that that's a blood-curdling bop. Up next, we have The Nightmare Before Christmas. And I honestly need to think about this for a second. Okay, it's very Halloween, but it's also very Christmas. Does the fact that it bounces off of Christmas, does that take away from the Halloween vibes? For me, it kind of does, because there are a lot of other things on this list that dedicated their entire energy to Halloween. And this felt the need to extract. So I don't believe that it's a blood-curdling bop. And I honestly don't think it's a haunting serve either. I don't know. I feel very controversial about this. Oh my gosh, I didn't actually think this was going to be like a difficult decision. My instincts right now, my instincts and my heart is telling me to put Nightmare Before Christmas in Candy Corny. And here I go. Nightmare Before Christmas is going in Candy Corny. Because here's the thing. One, it takes from Christmas, like Nightmare Before Christmas, like Nightmare, Halloween, but the Christmas ends it, that they put more emphasis on the Christmas. It's more about Christmas. Like, I don't know. For me, it's Candy Corny. It's still a bop. It'll come back every time. I watch it every single year for both Halloween and Christmas. However, in terms of iconic Halloween music, it's a little Candy Corny for me. Final answer, locking it in. Next up in the queue is Phantom of the Opera. And honestly, my first, deepest, and most prominent feeling is to immediately put this in Frankenflop. Because the only thing I remember from Phantom of the Opera actually is and like, that's great. And it is scary. It is. But you can also watch Phantom of the Opera any other time of year. Frankenflop. It's a fucking Frankenflop. That's what it is. I stand by that. Frankenflop. Phantom of the Opera is not, I'm not going to put that on the Halloween party. Okay, up next we have The Corpse Bride. And I honestly feel like this is the perfect vibe to put in a haunting serve. The only tier that we actually don't have anything filled out yet. I really do think this is a haunting serve. The actual theme song for Corpse Bride is so beautiful, and it is actually haunting. Like, that whole energy, the songs are haunting, the melodies are haunting. It's beautifully put together, and it's a bop. I would put this on at the Halloween party. Oh my gosh, the Corpse Bride is literally so good, so beautiful, and so gorgeous. I love her. Okay, up next, we have a pop song, Stevie Wonder, coming in hot with Superstition. This is either a haunting serve or a blood-curdling bop. And I honestly want to go for blood-curdling bop because this coming on in any type of Halloween setting, it just wraps it up, It makes me feel superstitious. It makes me feel like a little witchy witch. And of course, Stevie Wonder is just an icon as is, and this song just is great. I think that is a blood-curdling bop. Next in the queue is the Michael Myers theme song. We're into the theme songs. I honestly kind of feel like this also has to be a blood-curdling bop. Like, it's so recognizable. The second that I hear this song, my blood is curdled. Up next, we have creepy little Tiny Tim coming in with the Tiptoe Through the Tulips. And I am going to put this immediately in a haunting serve because this song reset the standard for creepy music. And it wasn't until they actually put it in the context of a creepy setting in Insidious that it really took on that vibe. It's always been weird, but it wasn't like scary until they made it scary. And when they did make it scary, it feels scary, but it's also an actual good song. Like, I love the song itself, and I think Tiny Tim is a cool artist, so I definitely think that's a haunting serve. It came back, and it came back better than ever. Up next, we have the American Horror Story theme song. This one is a little challenging for me because I don't think it's a blood-curdling bop. I think like seasons 1 through 3 were a blood-curdling bop, and I just hit my head. What the fuck? With American Horror Story, I think that when I first heard the theme song like a couple times, let me be honest. I think that this is Candy Corny because I think at first, in the first few seasons, it worked really well. But now as the seasons have gone on and gotten cornier and cornier, the theme song is now out of context for me. And when I hear the song, I'm no longer scared. I just think of like the cringy moments that I've noticed in American Horror Story over the past couple seasons. So for me, she's Candy Corny. Up next, we have Who You Gonna Call? Ghostbusters. For me, Ghostbusters is going to go into She's a Good Ghoul because Ghostbusters Ghoul, I think that it's a vibe. Every year it's going to come back. It's always going to hit. You're always going to dance to that at the party. It's going to be good. And honestly, it's just nostalgic. So I think that earns it a She's a Good Ghoul. Coming in hot after that is the Goosebumps theme song, and this is an automatic blood-curdling bop. Blood-curdling bop. I love the Goosebumps theme song. And that's all I have to say about that. Up next is the Hocus Pocus version of I Put a Spell on You, and I really don't think I have any other option but to put that in blood-curdling bop. You watch Bette Midler perform that in that movie, and you tell me that that's not a blood-curdling bop. I think, yeah, that's absolutely, like, no doubt in my mind that that is a blood-curdling bop. Up next, we have Thriller, Thriller 9, Habba-doop-boop-bottin'. I don't know the words of that song, but I think that this is a haunting serve. I don't think that it's a blood-curdling bop because I just, like, I don't know. For me, it's a little overdone. It's literally in every single Halloween anything ever, and I get it, as it should be, I guess, but at the same time, there's so much with this song. Thriller, haunting serve, still a serve nonetheless. I would just like to take a moment to apologize to anybody who loves Phantom of the Opera and considers that their peak Halloween music, because for me, it's just sitting there by itself in the Frankenflop like it ain't nothing. Okay, up next, we have the Monster Mash. My first instincts are to put this in Candy Corny, and I think that it's a right place, and I am lovingly putting it in the Candy Corny tier because it is a corny song. Like, you can't listen to that like do the Monster Mash, like, I love it. I will dance to it every single time, and especially in some type of intoxicated state, like, it's hilarious just by itself. However, blood curdling, haunting, no. She's a good ghoul, she is, but the corniness in Monster Mash brings it to the Candy Corny level. Like, that's not on me. And this is my opinion, and I stand by that. Happy Halloween. The Halloween Town theme song. Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah. Oh, that's easily a haunting serve at the very least. That's easily. I feel like that's the music that, like, plays in my head when I'm not doing anything else. So I feel like it's a haunting serve because it's always there. It's always there somewhere in the back of your head. You can probably pull out that theme song, you know? It just is perfect. I think it perfectly encapsulated the vibe of what Halloween Town was supposed to be. And for them to do that like that in that movie was a haunting serve. I mean, look at us. Did y'all watch Halloween Town yet this year? If you haven't, you have work to do. I also have work to do. I haven't watched it yet, but I should because it always makes me happy. We are on our last 5 songs now, so we're going into the home stretch. And up next, we have the iconic I Put a Spell on You, the second version on this tier list, okay, because it deserves it. And it's by Nina Simone. This is by far, the best, like, actual real recording of this song. Not like a Halloween context version, but put in the context of Halloween. This is like a scary bop. And that's why it's going in the blood curdling bop, because it really does. Like, this is a different type of blood curdling bop. Like, you're not going to be necessarily dancing to this at the party, but you will be catching eyes across the party to this version of I Put a Spell on You. If you're at a Halloween party and your crush is across the room and y'all are both in your little skimpy wimpy dimpy costume party, you're vibing and you catch your little person across the room catching eyes, looking eyes, cutting eyes at you, and this song comes on, the spell has been put on. That's all I have to say. Blood curdling bop. Next up, we have the Addams Family theme song. And for me, this is going to go into the... Well, I think that this song goes along the same lines as the Monster Mash. Along the same vibe. So for that reason, I will be putting it into the Candy Corny tier. It's so wait, I think I might have to change my mind. No, she's a good ghoul. She's a good ghoul. Because like that by itself, the do like that's it. At the very least, she's a good ghoul. You're right. I'm right. Okay, up next we have the Scooby-Doo. Oh, fucking gosh, I keep hitting my stupid head on this stupid microphone. I'm getting pissed. Next, we have Scooby-Doo, the Scooby-Doo theme song. I think that's a good ghoul. Scooby-Doo, where are you? Like, I think that that's a fantastic song. I cannot believe that Phantom of the Opera is still the only one that's a Frankenflop. I'm sorry. It just is. Second to last, we have Spooky Scary Skeletons. Honestly, when this song was resurfaced, this was a cultural reset. I remember I was there for that. And I'm going to tell you right now that this is a haunting serve because it came back to life. This was an older thing, whatever. It came up. Bingo, bango, bongo. You have Spooky Scary Skeletons. All the remixes are so good. I love the slow version and the fast version. I love all the different animations. I don't think, if we were talking specifically about the remix of like the Spooky Scary Skeletons, like that whole thing, it is a blood-curdling bop, but the actual song itself, in its essence, in my opinion, is a haunting serve because I'm going to eat that dinner, but I still want some dessert. You know what I'm saying? Last thing, the very last thing on this tier list is Little Shop of Horrors. And I'm very, very torn. I am very, very torn about this because part of me, the traumatized theater kid in me, wants to put this in Frankenflop. But the traumatized theater kid in me also wants to put this in She's a Good Ghoul. Because I don't think that Little Shop is a haunting serve, and I don't think it's a blood-curdling bop. That's not even in the cards for her. I do think that she has good ghoul potential because the storyline is so good and the music is good and like all that stuff. Like it just is a lot. For the Ronettes, Little Shop of Horrors is a good ghoul. Let's take our final look. At the bottom, we'll start from the bottom and go all the way to the top. At the bottom, we have Phantom of the Opera. And although I do feel guilty about this, I stand by that shit. It's just not my personal like, whoa, yeah, Phantom of the Opera. That's not me. I'm not that girl. So that's a Frankenflop. I stand by that. In the candy corny tier, so this is the tier that's like, it comes back all the time. It's always going to be good. I love candy corn, okay? That's an important fact to note. I love candy corn. I love corny. Monster Mash is camp. Yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas because of the whole Christmas thing. Like, I don't want to talk about Christmas on Halloween. Let me fucking give Halloween its time. For American Horror Story, the actual seasons have gotten corny, so inherently the theme song reflects the season. So for me, candy corny. And the Monster Mash. I love the Monster Mash so much. Then we have She's a Good Ghoul. So in the She's a Good Ghoul category, we have I Want Candy. And I fully stand by that. I think that I Want Candy, when you actually listen to the song, it's the perfect intro. It's the perfect, like, bring you into Halloween song. It's a bop. It's there. It's got good energy. It's not just a Halloween song, though. Like, it's not specifically Halloween enough, but it's perfect for Halloween. You know what I'm saying? She's a good ghoul. Ghostbusters, good ghoul. I think it makes sense with the ghost theme, so I'm keeping that. Addams Family, check. Scooby-Doo, yeah. Little Shop of Horrors, she's a good ghoul. I'll stand by that, even though I almost want to put her in Frankenflop for some reason, but I won't. A Haunting Serve, Corpse Bride, Tiny Tim, Michael Jackson, Halloween Town, Spooky Scary Skeletons. I think that that is a good tier. I think that that's a good tier. All of those songs are haunting because they stick in your head. And when they always resurface around Halloween and they're like reminiscent, they come back. They're like, you just look over your shoulder and you're like, oh yeah, there's that song again. You know what I'm saying? That's what I consider a haunting serve. Last but not least, and the top tier of all, we have the blood curdling bops. These are the songs that no matter what, Halloween vibes are immaculate. I will get down to these songs. This music, this energy, all of it is encapsulated in these blood-curdling bops. These are the most representative of Halloween, in my opinion. First up, we have Rocky Horror Picture Show, Superstition, absolutely, Halloween theme song, 100%, Goosebumps theme song. I would shake my ass to the Goosebumps theme song all night in any costume. Then we have Hocus Pocus version of I Put a Spell on You and the Nina Simone version of I Put a Spell on You, showing you the duality of that song, the iconic, bionic, absolutely supersonic version that Bette Midler did in the movie, and the sultry, super sexy, super scary, intimidating version that Miss Nina Simone did that would like drag you across the room with your eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like both sides of the coin are represented in the blood curdling bop section of iconic Halloween music. And that is my personal ranking of iconic Halloween bops. I had a lot of fun filming this video. I hope that y'all had a good time hanging out with me and talking about iconic Halloween bops. If you also had fun, you like this video, make sure that you give it a thumbs up. It really does help me for engagement. For next week's video, I will be doing a Halloween special where I'll be talking about some spooky, scary myths, legends, and stories in the music industry. So make sure that you are subscribed and that you have post notifications on so you are the first at the function for next week's video. Thank you again for watching and hanging out with me. Here's a couple extra little reminders. You can follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at Howdy I'm Victoria. And people, we now have the community tab. Okay, so I've been on there a little chatting it up, and I want to talk to you guys, talk about video content, discuss the videos, what you guys think, thoughts, questions, concerns, the whole spiel. So definitely, if you have a second, check out the community tab. I'd love to talk to you. And other than that, happy Halloween season. And I genuinely hope you have a wonderful day, morning, night, evening, whatever time it is that you're watching this. I really appreciate you hanging out with me, spending time and just listening to me talk. So thank you again, and I'll see y'all next week.